And we're live. Hello, everyone. Good evening and a warm welcome to all watching at MESC Red Devils NCR. This is Delvin, and today I'm joined with the OG gang. I have Sandeep Bhai with me, I have Ojas Bhai, and I have Abhijit Bhai with me. Hello, 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 gentlemen. Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone's doing good. And another game week, another win. Things moving in the right direction to say, and another crucial phase of United season coming through. No slip ups can be afforded at this point. But before we talk about what's going to happen in the future and before we reminisce about what happened in the past few days, let me ask. I'll start with Sandeep Bhai. Sandeep Bhai, at this point in time, after the Palace result, I'm just talking purely from a result standpoint. How do you feel? What are your thoughts? What is your mind space currently, and how confident are you approaching tomorrow's Roses derby, the derby of the Roses tomorrow?
So this weekend could not have gone better for us. I mean, Arsenal losing, City losing, and potentially, I know, out of the title race with points drop or maybe to the championship. And with Tottenham winning did make things a little bit tricky because they can catch us from the behind. But I think Liverpool lost, Chelsea drew, and we were the only team in the top four to win actually. So that was a very good weekend for us. And I think that we are, I think, 3 points behind City with the same number of games played, and 8 points behind Arsenal with one game in hand for them. So I think, and they have to play each other twice. So it's looking very good. It's shaping up to be a, let's say, the T word, a challenge maybe. And I think I'm very excited for the upcoming week. Maybe Casemiro missing out is a bit of a worry, but I'm sure Ten Hag has something up his sleeve to get us over these next three games and Barcelona as well. I'm sure Casemiro will return to his beast form at Camp Nou as well because he loves playing against the Barcelona team. And I think it will be a good. What's most important is with the injuries that have been given out by Ten Hag today, like Anthony is injured out, Martial is not in, McTominay is not there. So I think keeping those injuries in mind, good time for Sancho to come back into the team. And I think form has to be picked up by the fringe players who were not as big a part of this team previously with Casemiro, Anthony being out. And it should be a good week for us. Looking forward to the game on Wednesday, and we hope we can learn a lot from the new team, which is like Leeds without Jesse Marsh, and beat them again on the weekend.
Even Liverpool
Uh,
dropped the point.
we don't care. They're 10th. Doesn't matter. Osis Bhai, I'm totally in line with what Sandeep Bhai says. It's a very optimistic time. No, I'm not talking highly positive. I'm not talking highly negative, but it's a very optimistic time to be a United supporter, especially this game week in particular, considering all the teams in and around us have dropped points. Yes, Spurs winning does make things a little complicated, but then again, Spurs is that type of a team. You don't know which team is going to turn up at any given point. They can put in performances like what they did against City, and then they can go and put in shambolic performances like against us, for example, when they played us at Old Trafford, they were nowhere to be seen. It's like they didn't turn up to the races at all. While that is partly down to the fact that we played our best game as well, but there is a certain amount of level that you expect a team like Tottenham, which have quite a few quality players, to be very honest with you. There's a lot of talk with 3 points behind City right now, 8 points behind Arsenal, with 17 to 16 games left to play. Or just by from a very, very impartial point of view. All our conversations, you've been nothing but impartial. You've been to the point. So, when I ask you this, do you really feel that at this point in time, United are in the midst of a title challenge, that, uh, or do you think that you're going to get a much clearer picture, say 4 or 5 games from now? Or do you think that this is the time where you feel that it's time where United have to go on a run, and then maybe as of now we are in the title race? So what are your thoughts on this? Because there's a lot of fan bases talking about it, and I will not say that they're wrong in doing so. Considering that we did not expect Arsenal to lose to Everton, let's be honest about that, and even City coming a cropper against Spurs somehow very unexpected. But here we are. The top two have lost their games. Newcastle have drawn against West Ham, and that makes things much more interesting as well. So, do you think, as of now, Manchester United are in a title challenge? Yes or no?
Uh, I don't think so. Manchester United are in the title race. Uh, Pretty true. The truth is that we are out because of the injuries that we are having, and we are in so many competitions. We are in League Cup. We are going to play final against Newcastle. We have to realize that the last final that we played in the League Cup against Southampton were not that well ranked in the table. Playing against Newcastle, which is just a couple of points behind us, it is going to be a very tough final. We have to focus on that. We are focusing on FA Cup also and Europa League fixtures for the current month, the month that we could have picked the important points in the league. We have got one of the toughest teams in the Europa League. Just look at the form of the Barcelona. I was watching the highlights of the game. They're just too good. I know it's La Liga; it cannot be compared that easily. But Barca are playing really well. They are, I think, 7 to 8 points clear of Madrid. So I personally don't think United are in the title race. Uh, Maybe we can come second, but Arsenal having a 8 point lead with a game in hand. Um, really, guys, truth be told, from the history of the football that I have been watching for past 10 years, usually the 8 or 10 point leads don't really get caught up. Maybe before that it used to happen with mediocre Arsenal teams or whatever Liverpool teams, but for past 10 years, I have not seen second or third position teams catching up with the team that has an 8 point lead over them. So, although I would really like every United fan would like to win us the league, but I don't think so. Practically, it's not possible with the injuries also, and you will see in this coming game week how the injuries are going to affect the minor things in the result.
I loved it when you said mediocre Liverpool team because the last team which surrendered a 9 point lead was Liverpool in 2018-19. So yeah, I like it. I love the subtle hint. Yeah, but do you think that Arsenal being in this position for the very first time, it is the first time that they have been on the top of the table since a very long time now, and did you think that the result against Everton that they had, I mean, they were nowhere near the best. I mean, let's be honest. Do you think that this could be a start of a wobble? Because we've seen many teams come in there and have a wobble. I mean, even at this point, when Leicester won their Premier League season in 15-16, they did have a wobble in the month of February. They did lose a game. They dropped points in a couple of matches. Yes, they somehow they did win the title fair and square. But then somewhere around the line, February is that month where teams who have no prior experience of being at the top of the table do tend to have wobbles. You did see Leicester and now Arsenal also. I think this was the first game of the month, if I'm not mistaken, and Arsenal have started the month very badly. So, do you think that maybe the mental aspect of this could prove to be their undoing? Because let's be honest, on the pitch, their performances are second to none.
Yeah, I think the question is put to me only. Delvin, brother, if Mikel Arteta is a person, I somehow have a belief that he has the psychology to tell his players to just come back after that defeat, because Everton had the new manager bounce for me. Arsenal, although didn't play that well, you were right, they were very poor in that game. But these type of things happen, and for you, it's February. February is a month where teams start to wobble. For me, the title is always decided in November and December. Sorry, December and January. Although there was World Cup in December, but you will know that for past 5 to 6 years, the cluster of fixtures that happen in December and January usually decide the season. And Arsenal played really well in both the months. So if somehow they have a wobble in a game, they still have lot of games to just cover it up. Even Manchester City with this form, last thing that Manchester City wanted was to lose to a London team. Now look at the confidence of the Gunners. Out of nowhere, they're thinking that, and they're right in thinking that they can beat Manchester City too. So it's, for me, I don't think so. The wobble will affect them that much. It happens with everyone sitting at the top. Until and unless there is a total ruckus in the dressing room and the Arsenal just lose their way, I don't see Arsenal dropping their position in the table.
By the way, Delvin, Leicester were only able to win that title because Tottenham were the one chasing them that year.
Yeah, but then at that point in time, Arsenal were second. So when the wobble did happen in Feb, I mean during around the Christmas period, I think it was Leicester and Arsenal who were there at the top two positions.
I
So
think
from there,
Spurs finished second that season, right? If I'm not
first
wrong.
finished third. Spurs finished third in spite of being
Okay.
second. They lost 5-1 to Newcastle. They lost 5-1 to Newcastle on the final day of the season, and
If,
Arsenal beat
yeah,
Aston Villa 4-0. So
even
Arsenal
if
came
you
second.
yeah, even if you guys remember, we were at the top in December. We were at top in one of the seasons in December.
After
2021.
COVID,
Yes,
2021.
COVID.
and we just
Yeah.
yes, and I think we just slipped there. So it happens in December and Jan. It happens.
Yeah. Abhijit bhai, talking about Arsenal and Man City. So Arsenal's next fixtures are Brentford home, City home, Aston Villa away, Leicester away, and then you have City playing here. City have Aston Villa at home, Arsenal away, Nottingham Forest away, and then they have Bournemouth home. So there are two teams with very contrasting run of fixtures. Arsenal do have the harder of them compared along the two. And then when you see us, we play Leeds twice, and then I think we have a blank week because of the final. But then we play Brighton also in and around that period. What do you make of the fixtures, and do you think that Arsenal and Man City have the potential of dropping further points, especially with the cloud of uncertainty surrounding around City? We will speak about that cloud later on in this stream. But do you think that this could have something to do with them losing their focus and with Arsenal's loss at Everton the other day? Do you think that this is the right time where we are catching form as well, and the momentum is on our side?
So Arsenal dropping point was that on that day, everything doesn't goes up on your what your plan. Everton were far more better. They came with an intensity, they came with physicality, and it worked. See, diced. Actually, Arsenal diced was diced, and even of for Man City, dropping the point. Uh, I was surprised. I saw one stat that City for past 4 years haven't scored on Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which is really quite surprising that they have not scored. And Tottenham have always won the game against City in their home turf. So looking at the pictures of Arsenal and Man City, I would say that Arsenal will come back. They have the structure, they have everything, built, everything they have recovered, and I don't see them dropping points. But they could be tested for these features because Brentford, like a team, who can who are good in counter attacking, and their manager Frank knows Thomas Frank knows how to manage. He's achieved big success in big sixes. So Brentford could be a test for them. I don't see Man City testing them because looking at their form, I don't. They are literally off the battle. They are looking off. Even I heard saw today that Erling Haaland and I think Kevin De Bruyne had a you know fight, or you say off the with Pep Guardiola. So this could be starting off of something that City is dropping their eras in the. So I don't see City coming back. I would say the City will start dropping points. There is no rhythm. There is no anything between the manager and the player don't have that the hunger, the to win, the mentality. So I don't see Man City. uh, Apart from that, I see Arsenal taking those advantages. They will go further. For United perspective, I would say that yes, we have ability to finish second, as Ujis Bhai said and Sandeep Bhai said, and we can finish it stronger. But given the fact that we have a thin squad, uh, we can come at fourth place too. But looking at Eric Ten Hag's tactics and game management, we have a chance to gain the second position.
All right, we did speak initially about the roundup of the referee size. We will come to that later. For now, let's focus on our club. Let's talk about the Crystal Palace game. Sandeep bhai, your initial thoughts on the performance. We will delve into the game a little afterwards, but your initial thoughts on the performance, and was it cause for optimism for you, or do you think that there are still some things that need to be done?
No, I think there was a lot of cause for optimism. I mean, shambolic refereeing and shambolic VAR. I would let's not go there. It would be a single show on. We could have a single show on those decisions that way. But after Casemiro came off, I saw a fighting team who were playing for each other, which was very much missing the past few seasons. Everyone was playing for the team, and Ten Hag has been able to build that in such a short amount of time with the correct decisions and correct man management. I think taking off Garnacho for Maguire and Lindelof coming on, that was a harsh decision, but you have to take those decisions when you're the manager, when you're the boss of the team, and you want the end good of the team for the bigger picture. I think Garnacho takes it on, although he might be, frustrated, or maybe he did not take it on that well, seeing he was sitting on the stairs just biting his nails. But I think he also understands that. I think Ten Hag did a brilliant job, and also Martinez, man. Wow, that signing! What a signing he has been. After Casemiro, Martinez is the signing of the season for me. I mean, he gave it his everything. He left nothing out on it. He left everything out on the pitch and came back with the 3 points. And Varane as well. I think the last 20 minutes was brilliant team play. Defending as a team and defending for those 3 points. Defending those 3 points. That no way are we letting this up. If it was the last 2 seasons, we not only draw, but we might even lose the game from that point. But this season, we have seen teamwork, also the playing the devil's advocate. We also see not just 10 men, but without Casemiro, how maybe vulnerable we are. Also, in we had a morale. Our morale went down like anything, because conceding that goal to Crystal Palace was a continued build up from Crystal Palace towards that goal. And I think the Manchester United players got a little bit afraid that Casemiro is gone. We are down to 10 men. How do we defend this? But I think there Ten Hag has to come in, and we have got a good signing, Marcel Sabitzer, because in the 15 minutes we saw him play brilliantly. He was unjustly ruled out of a assist on his first game to Rashford, which he played. I think that wasn't a foul at all. It was a clean tackle, but Andre Mariner ran one lucky SOB to get out of that match alive. So, that one was a shambolic performance by the referee and the VAR. But I think our team came out of it good. Our team came out of it well. We won the 3 points, which was very crucial, because all the teams around us dropped the points. We have seen in previous season, when all teams around us are dropping points, we are also dropping points. We were not able to capitalize on it. But this time we have. And I think Leeds home and away should not be a problem without Casemiro also. I think we can see a midfield of maybe Sabitzer, Fred and Bruno, or maybe a Lindelof or a Martinez coming into stadium. Let's see. But I think we came out of it good.
Yeah. I mean, this was similar parallel to what happened in the Palace game where we played away. We were good for 80 minutes. Casemiro got yellow, and then we wobbled and we gave in the equalizer. Similarly, it happened here. The moment Casemiro got red, there was still for around 7 to 8 minutes where we lost the plot, and that ended up them scoring against us. But then, like Jihan said, after that, there was energy, there was passion, and you could see that the players were playing and giving it all on their field. And another important factor was that every tackle, every block, every clearance was cheered mightily by the crowd. You spoke about this. I'm sorry. What was that? You spoke about Eric Ten Hag making tough calls. where Garnacho was bought on for Maguire and Lindelof, and he was he was slated a lot for it. But for people who don't know that, the moment Lindelof and Maguire came on, Crystal Palace forwards did not win a single header right up until the end of the game. So
Those calls
so
have to be
that's
taken.
yeah,
Those calls have to
exactly.
be
So
taken.
those calls have to be taken. Exactly. So Osis bhai, let's come to the talking points of the game, and there is only one talking point, and that is the Casemiro red card. On first instincts, on first looks, it did look silly, and it did look like a red card on first looks. Even while we were watching the game, it did look like a red card. But then, with the wide angles coming in, with multiple angles coming in, and you see a lot of issues, and then all of a sudden you see, hold on, that doesn't seem like a red, because it was barely 2 seconds he had hands on his neck, and it was not even a choke hold. It was just a catch, and it was barely 2 seconds and it's out. But the VAR showed it in such a way that it meant that it went on for far too long, and he was only shown that one frame, irrespective of the fact that Jordan Ayew is literally slapping the shit out of Fred behind him. That was not looked at, and only Casemiro seemed to have got the red card. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, it did look like a red initially, but then when you see the angles, you see multiple fan angles, fan camera. A lot of fans captured the incident as well, and they had different angles. And then you see images of where Jordan Ayew had his hand on Fred's throat. You could literally see Jordan Ayew literally bitch slapping Fred in the middle of that fight. Like, it's not even a normal. It is a tight slap. You could literally see that. I mean, there could have been a murder going on in the melee, and then still it would have been an instance where Casemiro would have got the red card in that situation. Uh, what are your thoughts on it? I mean, I know it's becoming a joke. I mean, it's becoming a joke about us discussing VR every single week, game in, game out. But then I think there is a time where a line has to be drawn, and I think even Ten Hag had enough after this. And you could see it in the way that he spoke about it in post-match, where you see he brought in not only the incidents of this game, he brought in the incidents of the previous games as well. The Andy Carroll challenge, the elbow on Martinez, the penalty on McTominay, so many incidents. And do you think this is where Eric Ten Hag draws the line, and you will see Eric Ten Hag going hell for leather against any refereeing decisions from now on?
I don't think it will be of much use because Klopp crying in a post-match conference is, I don't know how it is still valid till now, but it will not be of any use. Erik Ten Hag knows that some things cannot be changed, and these are one of the things. With the evidence that the referee had in that game, it was a red card. It was a red card with the evidence that the referee had. Okay, whatever the images that later popped up and whatever it had. Whatever the evidence later came out, with the content and with the time that the ref has, he had to take a decision, and to be honest, it didn't look good. It didn't look good at all, and the slow motion just worsens it, because in slow motion you're believing that he's just holding it out for forever. So it I wouldn't say it was a bad decision. I just say that Casemiro was unlucky, and plus the lack of content. And even though the Premier League is full of technology, I don't think the angles were really well covered for the evidence to pop up. What is the use of virtual assistant referee if you don't have the right angles to take a decision? So whatever the evidence the referee had, he took the decision which was best suited at that time, because it looked horrible. It looked very it. Even I was laughing at that. What was Casemiro doing? But shit
Otis
happens, and
bhai,
it happened with
But
Casemiro.
just one thing, don't when you see that IU slap, don't you think the referee should be looking at that? Well, I mean, you could have given red card to both of them. I'm talking about the We are all talking about the inconsistency.
Yes, actually, what happens in these type of decision is when a decision is being discussed, the VAR instructs the referee that I am looking at this call, and you have to look at specifically at that call. So if the virtual assistant referee or the referee on the sideline doesn't discuss what Ayu had done to Fred, or whatever had happened to Fred in that circus that was going around, referee cannot take a
So,
decision in that.
so that is what Delvin was talking about. That there could be a murder happening in the stands, and they would not.
Yeah.
They would still be looking at Casemiro only. That is where the inconsistency comes in. And one more point is that Monday, Dermot McGallagher, what was the referee name? Who is the head of the referee
Marina.
board? They have come out and said we have viewed everything. Ayu was not a red card. Casemiro was right to be given a red card. I mean, that's just shambolic. That's just blasphemy. He has come out and said this. Yes, he has come out and said this. Ayu was not a red card. We have reviewed it. Casemiro was 100% a red card. I mean, what do you say about this? And if FA were that fair, that in that heat of the moment, that it looked like a red card, Casemiro was unlucky, he was given a red. Even without United appealing, they could reduce the ban to one match. Why keep it for three? I mean, they can
Sandeep,
agree to. Yeah, tell me, Abhijit.
just want to bet at why Casemiro was unlucky was that if you look at the Old Trafford turf, it is actually a slope,
Yeah,
and
yeah, he was down.
Mark Hughes was standing down, and Casemiro was up.
Will
And
will
if,
use
okay,
will
he
use.
wanted to not to brawl. Actually, he wanted to stop him. Actually, please
Exactly.
don't make it खींचना मत भाई तुम वहीं पे रहे हो. That was it, and it was actually
It was his collar.
and yes, it actually slipped and it got to neck. And if you saw in other videos, it actually slipped and it came to the neck.
And
So
immediately 1 second later, he was saying sorry. Immediately 1 second later, he
he
was
was
saying
even
sorry. Like
hugging and even they were having a chat. So it was just an unlucky decision.
I
Yes.
mean, at the end, if he wanted to, if it was going to be given a red, he might as well have strangled him at that point. I mean, might as well have strangled him. You
no,
know.
that was not Casemiro's intention. No, that was not his
I
intention at all.
know. It's that slope which makes it look badder because of the
And
clear
I think
height
Anthony got
bias.
injured because of that. Anthony got injured because of that, and he's out of the game.
I don't think he got injured because he got up for the scrap. He got up immediately for the scrap. He looked fit then.
No,
Okay,
maybe
he-
like it's a sustained one.
In all fairness, he did get up immediately like a spring chicken the moment he seen a scrap happening. So I don't know what happened, and I don't know why he's out exactly. But then that's a discussion for another day. So
Even if
like,
you look at Casemiro's reaction after that, he just knew something dirty. He has done something dirty.
yeah,
I
Even
just
he
looked at
quoted
his
that,
reaction. I just looked at. He had those eyes. Yeah. Oh, what will happen? What will happen? What will happen? Because he knew he did something dirty. And see, to be fair, guys, whatever the referee says, whatever the board says, with whatever evidence you have on that, at that 1 and 2 minutes just can change the game. Because red card is something that it can be discussed later, but that moment, game will change. That moment,
Absolutely,
whatever
morale
the
will come
referee-
down. You will have a bit of a nerves will kick in. Absolutely, it will happen.
yeah. So it's official that United are not going to appeal the red card, just in case anyone of our viewers or anything who's still unaware of the incident. United are not going to appeal the red card, so which means Casemiro will be suspended for 3 games, both the league games and the Leicester game. So like Jehan said, these things are not going to rattle us anymore. Totally agreed. You could literally see that this team is not bowed down by anxiety or such decisions going anymore. So Jehan says that if this was a loserful player, this wouldn't have been the case. I think why talk about them? They're 10th. Let them stay 10th. We don't talk about teams who are in the middle of the table anymore. So why give them the publicity they don't deserve? Abhijit bhai, speaking about the other incident now. The Sabitzer tackle. That tackle, as clean as they get. He had 100% of the ball. That was a counter attack, and I'm telling, I could have bet my house that Rashford was going to score that goal. I was that confident about that being a goal because there was no one there. Rashford was in his own half when he gathered the ball, so no offside in question. That was 3-1 and game set match there and then itself. And even the Crystal Palace players did not appeal for a foul, mind you. No Crystal Palace player appealed for the foul. No one. They went on to get back to business. The moment Rashford got the ball and started a sprint, pop goes the whistle, the referee calls for a foul. I genuinely think that after Anthony Taylor, Andre Mariner is the most worthless referee to officiate in the Premier League. And it doesn't put the Premier League in a good light globally on refereeing as well. So, what are your thoughts on that incident? Do you think that, see, there has been a lot of talk about this, that there is a conspiracy against United, while a lot of the sections of the fan base initially were not agreeing to it. I think they're finally coming to getting around the fact that this is actually happening. I mean, and the Premier League is not, and they're not even making it obvious. They're not even making it to be something like a worst kept secret. It's out there for everyone in the open. Do you think that we are part of a conspiracy at this point in time?
uh, I would not say conspiracy, but totally biased decision. As you talked that about that service tackle, even after they watched the match, man, that I was, literally I can say some words, but they are, quite, but I was, out of, I was screaming in anger that what the hell was that decision? He so smartly, tackled him, and in a fraction of second, the ball was in the Rashford's feet, and Rashford was off the ball, and he was to score the goal, and referee blows the whistle, and all players, literally all Man United players were appealing. What the hell was that? And even the player, crowd, booed the referee. What the hell was that? No, this the I think both the referees, VAR and both the, even the on-field referees were both, were on that agenda that today we, whatever happens, we have to, give opposition a chance to, take on the host. When that red card incident happened, after that, they were literally, gifting any small tackle, small, push, everything decisions were against United. And this not happened today also. Lot of times, when United were on, in the down the form, every single decisions were, were against us. you know uh, if you now you mentioned about Liverpool, when last time Klopp, appealed for, Man United getting more penalties. After that incident, after saying that quote, Liverpool have got more penalties after that he quoted, and United had got only just one or two penalties. I think that maximum are two. So you can get that they don't want to favor us, or don't want to favor in some way. Even last time when Arsenal and Manchester United were in Etihad, that I don't know his referee name, he actually, gave that biased decision. So many decisions, you can count on, but these things are happening, especially to United, and to, favor the opposition team, who are on the, uh, you know conceding the goal, or, who are on lower form. So this has to stop, I would say. But it's okay, because as we know, Ten Hag has already, mentioned it, that we do have to don't depend on these decisions. Okay, these are, part of, games, but actually we as a team, we have to take the opportunities, and, score the goals and take the opportunities.
Being dependent upon decisions is another thing, but then you can't
You know,
play every game
Abhijit
12.
bhai, adding
You can't.
adding to that, he was taking the throw-ins 10 meters away from where it was,
Yes,
and they did not say anything.
yes,
Just
yes,
wanted to
I
add one thing to your point.
yes.
See, you're talking about not depending on decisions for referees, but there comes a point where we can't play against 12 players every time. It's as the referees are, as by default, becoming the 12th player for the opposite side. It's becoming a sad truth. You can say that we shouldn't be dependent, but then there will have to come a time where we will have to be dependent on refereeing decisions.
This is also
Uh,
because, Devin, by, when Sir Alex was there, there was some influence of, team on referees. There was also, debate that they used to say that they used to, favor the decision on Manchester United, Arsenal. Now the dominance has, come to an end for Manchester United. So they, Liverpool as dominant, Manchester City as dominant. So they favor that in that way. You can say that they are influenced by the some of the team. By ये team अच्छा, they are, performing well, and, doing this same. So that influence can get to the referee's head. So uh, this can affect a refereeing decision. They're not partial impartial for the decision, but these things also can consider, you can say.
Fair enough, but then I don't understand that. I think we have to make peace with the fact that we will be playing against 12 players week in, week out from right up until the end of the season, until something drastic happens, or maybe Tenak comes with a comment of his own, which I personally don't feel is going to happen. But yeah, it is what it is. We can moan about it all day long, but that's the sad reality, which also could be a good thing. Like Jehan said, that we are bringing the old Man United power back, where Old Trafford is once again our fortress, and teams are becoming much more wary, much more careful coming into Old Trafford now. So Sandeep Bhai, while these two shitty decisions did take place, there was a very, very surprising thing that happened in the game. That is, we got a penalty. Uh, well, who would have thought? I mean, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh in equal measure, you can say. But yeah, I mean, at that point, if they wouldn't have given the penalty, it would have been as blatant as it would have been that this is a conspiracy. So, I mean, they had
And
to give
Marina
the
might
penalty.
as well have put on a Crystal Palace shirt.
Exactly. So finally, a penalty given, and I mean, it was great. So now let's talk about something which could have huge ramifications in the English football circles, not only in the Premier League, but all the divisions. This could have far-reaching circumstances. This could have far-reaching repercussions as well. Man City have been charged for financial doping in layman's terms up until 2017-18, if I'm not wrong, and there are more than 100 charges about that. If they are found, as per reputed news sources, if they are found guilty on even 50% of those charges, there is a very real possibility that they can be relegated. They could face a points deduction. They could have their title stripped off, and it could be either or all, a mixture of everything. That is what it is. But I think deep down, everyone will know that they're going to get the maximum punishment that they're going to get is a 2 million fine, and the Premier League will believe that they have upheld the sanctity of the English game. That is what it is. But it is once again a hypothetical that I'm saying. But let's talk about it. I mean, I think the main reason when they got caught is when they announced that they made more revenue than United. I mean, at that point, you know that something's fishy. And I think the cat's out of the bag. I think they know. Maybe this could be the time where City can finally, be caught in the net. While the UEFA hearing did have loopholes of its own, saying that there was a time bar, so on and so forth. But there is no such issue in the Premier League, which means, for all intents and purposes, if the investigation does go on in the right way, City could be in dire straits here. So, what are your thoughts? Or what were your initial reactions when the charges came out, when the news broke out, in fact, and what is your stand 2 or 3 days from now, from the time that the announcement broke out? What is your stand now, and what were your initial reactions then?
So for the first thought I had was, oh, they're gonna get it turned out. They're like, it won't be that serious. Then I saw things taking heat, like things building up, and I thought finally that they have been caught. And when it came out that they had made more revenue than Manchester United, I mean that was just like Heisenberg cooking crystal meth. I mean their cookbooks would be even more tastier than like anyone else's. You cannot make a commercial brand as bigger than Manchester United in 9 years. Manchester City were founded in 2009. The 40,000 people who supported them before that are the real City fans. Manchester City was founded in 2009. And in 9 years, you cannot be a more commercially viable brand than Manchester United, who have a billion fans all around the world. the commercial value does not depend on how many titles you're winning or how well you're doing on the pitch. It's all about fan base. It's all about following. It's all about the deals you're making. I mean, Etihad, except Etihad, whom have you seen Manchester City sponsor? OXN, OKN, or Nexen, or like nowhere Adidas, even Adidas, Nike don't sponsor them. They're sponsored by Puma. I mean, you cannot be a more commercially viable brand than Manchester United. And when that news broke, that was like, kicking their own foot with the stone. They did it to themselves. And when this, I am kind of, I'm still skeptical, but I'm happy that FA have taken this seriously. And I don't believe in stripping of the titles because might be there it could be good, but I don't mind it. I don't care for it because when that Aguero moment with 7, 8, 10 O's, that moment cannot be taken away from them. Even if we are given the title, that pain we felt for those few days, few months, even today, that pain cannot be taken away just because on paper it will say United have the title. Aguero don't have it. It will be fun for a while, it will be banter for a while, but it won't be us winning a real match live on TV and celebrating that we have won the league. It won't be that. But yes, going on further, the sanctions should be there. I don't believe in fine because even if you charge 1 billion to them, they will just give it. They should be relegated and there should be points deduction for the season and there should be a transfer ban. I think all of these three should be given. Titles they have won, okay, fine, because the players on the pitch did win it. The players on the what they did to bring the players in, that is different, but the players on the pitch did win it and they were better than the rest of them. But I don't believe that. I believe that further going on, they should be relegated, there should be transfer ban, and there should be points reduction for the current season also. And Manchester City should be a example. They should be made an example out of that. ESL is not the way. What we have, club football, is the way. Franchise football we don't want. No fans want it. Franchise football should not be there. It should be the club football which is there. Yes, it's big money. It's big football. It's like huge viewership, huge following, huge fan base. But there should still be the sanctity of football there. Manchester City came in and broke it. Even Newcastle have not been that, what to say, like they have come in and just we'll buy this, we'll buy that. Chelsea are doing that, but they are doing it by finding a loophole in the contract situations of the players and everything. I don't know how, they might end up pulling levers and stuff, all those down the years, 5, 6 years down the year.
They don't have debt. They don't have a single pound of debt. So with Roman erasing that 1.5 billion debt that they have,
yes.
So virtually it means that the club has no loss. It has no debt. It has no expenses to pay, which is the reason why they are spending so much. And then again, we speak about amortization. So which is why you can see Todd Bowley handing out prison sentences instead of contracts.
Exactly.
8 years, 8.5 years.
When Enzo Fernandez comes to the end of his contract, I will be 35. I mean, I can't believe that.
Please don't talk about our ages. There's no need about that, I mean, don't make us feel old. I seriously don't make us feel old. So Abhijit Bhai says the clubs who have been pressing hardest for action were the members of the Big Six. No surprises there. I mean, obviously there won't be any surprises. It has to be them who will be pushing forward the issue. And rightfully so, they would want City to be kicked out. They have to set a standard. So it has to be a harsh punishment. It has to be serious. And Ojas Bhai, speaking about this, there is a lot of talk about Pep making a statement earlier on, saying that the moment he comes to know that the club is in the wrong, he will be out of the club the next day. Irrespective of whatever it is, next day he's out of there. Do you think he does that? Or do you think he's going to stay? I mean, because you can talk all about having that moral high horse. At the end, you are still neck deep. And saying that you don't know much about it, sounds kind of suspicious, to be honest. I think if you're a manager, you are going to have an inkling of what is happening behind the scenes, because you have a say in the transfers, you have a say in how that money is going to be spent. So obviously, you will be asking where the money comes from. So saying the fact that he doesn't know about it is pretty is a bunch of bull, to be honest. So what are your thoughts on this statement, and do you actually think that will Pep leave?
Yeah, I don't think Pep will leave Manchester City in this situation. What he must have meant is that he will leave the next days after completing the season. Maybe he will think that whether he would like to continue with the club or not. Because right now, Manchester City are in a very difficult position. Not only sanctions, the overall reputation in the world is going to be hampered with this. And right now, what every club is thinking that if somehow Manchester City escape this, the pressure on the leaders of the league or the pressure on the people who manage this league will be so high, because if Manchester City escape this, imagine if more investors like Saudi start coming into the league, then Premier League will be a league where players will be crossing 200 million marks in the near future. This cannot happen certainly, because there are clubs like Bournemouth, there are clubs like I should say not say Wolves, because they are now financially very good, but there are teams, clubs that cannot invest that much. Brighton cannot invest, although they are now having so much revenue out of sales, but they cannot generate this revenue. Clubs cannot buy players on the basis of the prices that the other clubs are saying. Like even prices are getting quoted above their original values to almost 200, 300% if you're buying outside the league. This cannot go long. This cannot happen for long. Somewhere the league has to draw a line. And doing this, charging a sanction to Manchester City will be a first step towards it. Yeah, the whatever City have done, whatever the doping of the finance that City have done, it is I don't know whether they will be stripped or not, but they surely deserve a transfer ban for at least 2 seasons. They deserve, for me, 30 to 35 points deduction this season. Relegating them or not, it is not a call I want to make, not something that I would like to discuss also, because that is a totally different scenario. But yes, they deserve at least a uh, two-term transfer ban. They deserve a harsh 35 to 40 points deduction, and just be put at a place that this is what happens if you try to tamper with it, with the rules and regulations of the league. Other than that, I think nothing more will happen. We all know on the stream, we all know that nothing major will happen with Man City.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with it. Abhijit bhai, let's talk about it from a fan perspective, a spiritual perspective, for example, uh, where you've seen City uh, on the field playing some of the most beautiful football in the past 5 to 6 years. They have been a class apart when it comes to getting results, and in the last 2 or 3 seasons, they've been a machine basically. They've been churning titles in and out. They've won 5 already, but after all this coming out, with the amount of gross misappropriations that have come out now in stunning fashion nonetheless, do you think that there is a sense of betrayal among the football fans, where you have this side enjoying unparalleled success at the cost of other teams who have put in their heart and soul throughout the course of 38 games, but yet have fallen short just because of shady accounting? Surely the fan base of that particular club and the fan base of a country which idolizes the Premier League as a whole, do you think that this comes as a betrayal to the fans, to the stakeholders of the Premier League, and to all the major players as well? Because right now, Man City is one of the biggest names in English football. Let's be clear. In spite of the fact they were established in 2009, like what Sandeep Bhai says, in these 13 years, they have made themselves as one of the biggest names. And currently, at this point, they are the defending champions and they are the face that runs the place. So my question to you is, Abhijit bhai, as a football fan, not a United fan, mind you, as a football fan, do you feel a sense of betrayal after these accusations have come out?
So, see, these allegations are not new for us today. Even in that season on 2017-18, the allegations were made. After that, I think in 2021, in that season too, they were allocated for the FFP rules. So, as a fan perspective, yes, definitely. As a fan, I can say that there is something cooking. But you what's suspicious me that you are showing that you are more ahead of Real Madrid, that team who has achieved so much success in this decade, and you are more ahead than Real Madrid and Barcelona in your spending, in your sponsorship, and everything. Whatever your financial gains you have done, and that makes me think of it, that how on earth do you without only achieving a Premier League and domestic success, you are more ahead of Real Madrid and Barcelona. Really, I can't imagine as a fan that to how on the earth did you sign so much, giving a contract to Erling Haaland of 200 million, the way we discussed before months ago, that he was given, I think, 200 million the total contract, not about just but overall contract. It really suspects 100 million release, and some wages more, everything, even for the title sponsorships of what on the shirts, everything, you are more ahead than what you are gaining. So this really, as creates some fan anguish about what the club is running on, what agenda is there. Even they projected something else and they achieved something else. So it really creates a suspicious environment against the fan. And the fan support the team because achieve of a success. But if that success is comes through this this false allegations, and on the base of this, then definitely as a fan I will really betray a team. This success doesn't comes with hard work, anything you achieved now. So this rules, this everything, that as a fan I would not accept it. If you go in front of a committee or anything, and be a clean football, and we as a fan expect that.
All right, so I'm going to ask predictions from all of y'all. This is not in regards to the United game or anything, but this is a very different kind of prediction. So my predictions are: what do y'all think is going to be the maximum punishment that will be meted out to Man City? Be honest, be frank, and tell what do you feel. So I genuinely feel, in spite of the allegations that have been put out, and in spite of the fact that the FA does seem to have a serious say in this matter for now, that by the looks of it at least, I don't think there's much more going to happen. Let's be honest. City had UEFA by the balls, okay, and they were wrong then as well. They had them by the balls. They got their ban up. They had their ban revoked, a 2-year European ban. So the max I see is going to be a 5 to 10 million fine, and yeah, that's about it. And then the Premier League will believe, like, see, we did it. We upheld the sanctity. We upheld the principles of the English game. They'll feel entitled as protectors, and yeah, that's going to be the end of it. That's what I feel, and that's exactly what is going to happen. I'm that confident about it. Sandeep bhai, what are your predictions on what the punishment or the sanctions on Man City are going to be?
I think titles will stay with them. I think points deduction and maybe relegation, because
Which
FA
is
are
why,
not joking this time.
at least by the looks of it, yes. But you don't know what's going to happen. There could be an anonymous briefcase reaching their office, and then everything changes in an instant. Uh, well, they're called daddy shakes for a reason. So let's just be clear about that. Ojas bhai, what are your predictions on the sanctions that City are going to get?
30 points deduction for me.
Yeah. Juventus have much more gross misappropriations and still they only got a 15-point deduction. So I'm just saying.
I'm just taking a guess. I'm just taking a wild guess. For me, it's a 30-point deduction because
No transfer ban?
relegation.
No transfer ban?
If the, I don't think so. Transfer ban. See, although it deserves it, everything on the paper it deserves a transfer ban. It does deserves point deduction. But somehow City do find a way to get through this. But 30-point deduction is a wild guess because I just want City below 10. That is why I know nothing will happen. I'm with you, Delvin. It's just a wild guess.
Abhijit bhai, your predictions for the sanctions that will be meted out to City.
I would say there will be point deduction next season, and or it could be a fine with sanction. Point deduction with fine. I would say. I will not say they will not be get relegated or anything. They will be expelled. No.
So long story short, what I feel is the chances of City getting a points deduction, the chances of City getting relegated, or the chances of City getting their title stripped are the same as Mason Greenwood not playing for United. That's the likelihood. So both things are going to happen. Mason Greenwood will play for United. City will not be getting serious punishments. That's the end
That's
of it.
bold.
It's
But
not bold.
Dylan
It's
bhai-
just fact.
Dylan
It's
bhai,
just fact. It's fact. It's fact.
I think there was
Just
this
one
rumor
fact.
of him going to Ajax, right?
For what? Just
A
because Leeds.
season-long
It,
loan. A
it,
season-long loan.
it was to go to China. Greenwood. It was a fake. Whatever it was just a stupid rumor that Greenwood is
Okay.
looking for a career in China.
Okay, one point to add, by for this debate. Uh, Now there is an arbitrary coming up for that City for
It's an
this FA.
independent. It's an
Yes,
independent
independent. Yes,
panel. Yes,
yes. And the man who is heading the
that's a
committee.
rumor. That's
Arsenal.
a rumor. That's a
No, no,
rumor.
no, no. I have read
He
it
is an
now on
Arsenal fan. He
yes,
is an
yes,
Arsenal fan.
yes. He is Arsenal fan. I
You
have
can't
just
write
read it
it.
now. Just read it
You,
in Athletic in news,
bro,
and he
you
is
can't.
Arsenal fan. And but there are financial experts in that committee,
You
and it
can't
will
make this
take
shit
around
up.
one season to
Yeah,
They
of
will.
course.
I am
This is
telling you,
this.
they will get Etihad frequent flyer miles. That's it. And
They
places
will.
done.
This is going to take a while. This is going to take long, and at the end, nothing's going to come out of it. It's very obvious. It's painfully obvious to see. Like we spoke about it in the Mason Greenwood stream. 99 out of 100% of the 100 times when a entity, when a person has the money, they will go out scot free. In no matter how serious the crime is. You've committed a genocide of 5 million people. You have $700 billion in your purse. You are going out scot free, irrespective of the genocide that you've committed. It's that you have money. You're a free man. That's what it is. So that's how it will work again. So nothing much to talk about. Although the hope is there that uh, the justice takes its course and the right punishment is meted out at the end of the day, but then we can only hope and pray. In the midst of this discussion, United have officially announced their squad for the Barca game. That is both the legs, the Europa League squad. So that's De Gea, Butland and Heaton as goalkeepers, Dalot, Lindelof, Maguire, Malacia, Licha, Shaw, Varane, Aaron as our defenders, Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, Fred, McTominay, Sabitzer, Van de Beek as our midfielders, and Anthony Garnacho, Anthony Parcial, Pelestri, Rashford, Sancho, and Weghorst as our forward options. So, what are your thoughts on the squads, guys? What are your thoughts on the squad? Very decent squad, minus Anthony Martial, because we know that he's going to injure himself on Valentine's Day again, and he won't play in the Barca game. So yeah, that's what it is. That's what's going to happen exactly. So, what are your thoughts on the squad? So basically, we're playing with what 22 members with one less. That's what it is. Your thoughts on the squad? Good squad, bad squad, somewhere else, because they're Ericsson and Donny have been included as well in their long-term injury absentees. So, Abhijit, I'll continue with you itself. What is your thoughts on the squad that has come out?
Yeah, definitely a good squad. No less injuries, and Casemiro getting some enough rest as we are not appealing for the red card. So definitely plus point. I doubt Martial to start, but given the fact that Ten Hag loves him, I should. I will give a one unpopular opinion that De Gea should be rested and Jack Butland should be started. Give it a shot because David De Gea is a you know
against Barca.
yes. So just by it is unpopular, I know, but I would prefer Jack Butland to start because
Would
you
you
look
prefer
at it.
Butland or Heaton? Heaton was very good
No,
against Forest.
I would
How
prefer
are, how
Butland.
are you guys preferring both?
Against Barca?
No, I
No,
am
Yes,
not.
no. It's going to be De
I am
Gea.
not at all. I'm just saying, Abhijit bhai, is it Butland or I would
ऐसे
like just
ऐसे
yes.
stick the
एबी
high.
डिविलियर्स का छक्का उड़ते हुए जाएगा ना ऊपर से एबी डिविलियर्स का
No,
छक्का
but
जैसे
no.
गोल
Just by
देखना था स्टेडियम पे.
you see, against the Crystal Palace, he was not up to that mark. He didn't, came front to, do shot stopping anything. He came. He was just fearing for to end the match.
I will take one leg De Gea over Jack Butland.
Okay,
For,
but
for Jack Butland is brought to cover the just backing up the keeper, and he's a good option. But you don't play these type of keepers the games against Barca's or the big games of the season. I respect the opinion, but it will be a very weird call. It is not an
yes,
unpopular opinion, but it is some sort of a thinking that you're trying to bring a different dimension goalkeeper into the team, which I don't think will work because right now you are settled, and Varane and Lisandro is out for the first leg. And right now, the defense is very settled with David De Gea as the keeper.
but David De Gea is not at the mark. Sorry,
If he's not up to the mark, Heaton and Butland are not on the mark at all. They're barely played.
but
Uh,
Heaton, whenever he plays, he is at the decent, more decent.
Nottingham Forest, Barca. That's the level. That's
Uh,
the level. So
yes,
before
And
And Barca
debuting
is
Butland against
Barca
Barcelona
is
is impossible.
it's
Debut
going
of
to be De
Butland against
Gea.
Barcelona is
It is going to be De Gea. There is no point in saying that he is not going to play a second 11 against Barca at the Camp Nou. Simple as
exactly.
that.
Abhijit
He's
bhai, they
not
have
going to.
Lewandowski. They have Lewandowski. You're playing
yes. That's why.
Butland
That's
against
why I
Lewandowski.
know. That's why by Gavi and even Gavi and even Pedri or even you can say who are the wingers? I think I don't know, but
Dembele is
Busquets
out.
Rafinha, Rafinha.
Dembele,
Dembele
Busquets is
also is out.
out.
Rafinha, they all are in hot form, by. But
Dembele is out. Dembele is
yes,
out.
Dembele is
Dembele
He's
is
Rafinha,
out.
out.
Rafinha.
Busquets is out.
Rafinha is in form. No. Rafinha has not
Guys,
been playing well.
against that there's a last
50-50.
win day he was the
One game.
main man.
One game,
50-50.
Abhijit bhai. One game. One game everyone has.
Rafinha of
One game
Leeds
with
was some different level. He was some different gravy. Although
Right
anything
now,
even
can
Barca
happen.
defense is really good. Right now, Barca defense
Exactly.
is really good.
So it's a battle of
It's
defenses,
it's a
basically,
battle of the
at this
defenses,
point.
exactly.
Battle of the defenses. And uh,
25.
the Barca atmosphere is a huge atmosphere. So I mean,
Uh,
we will get to the Barca bridge when we reach it. For now, it's
yeah,
still a while away. We have the
yeah.
small matter of playing two
Two
back-to-back
huge
Yorkshire
Premier League
derbies
games.
against the same side. I was very upset that Leeds sacked Jesse Marsh. I did want us to beat them and then get sacked, but then it is what it is. So
I think Chris
we
Armas is taking care of them now. Chris Armas,
Amras,
Ted Lasso.
Ted, La-
Ted Lasso.
Amras.
Ted Lasso. All right. With that, we covered everything there is to cover. We covered United. We covered the title race, or whether we are in it or no. We covered the usual talking point about VAR being shit, and then we also spoke about City and our Europa squad. With that being said, we come to an end of the stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for being a part of the stream. Thank you so much for all of them who were on chat, giving in your opinions. Munawar Bhai says De Gea is not the best in big games, but then it is a sacrifice that we have to take because Butland and Heaton have not played any games, let alone big games. So that's the point there. So thank you so much. Do like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. We want to keep on growing. We're very close to 1,400 subscribers. So please help us get there and help us to grow even further. Your support is very much appreciated. Thank you to all who make it regularly to our streams and show us the love and support. Means a lot, and we're forever grateful for that. We are also very active on our socials, on our Twitter and Instagram. Do give us a follow there. And apart from that, every day is match day on our WhatsApp group. I say this on every stream. Today is no different. So you do want to be a part of it. So do not miss an opportunity to go ahead and get a part of our family. It's ever growing, and we always have room for more. There's also a website for an immersive fan experience where you can go ahead and have prediction contest, quiz contest, and the FPL contest, which is going on as well. With that being said, this is Delvin along with Sandeep Bhai, Ojas Bhai, and Avjit Bhai wishing you goodbye. Thank you to all of you gentlemen for joining in the stream as well. It was fun talking to you about it. We will see you all very soon. Till then, it's good night, goodbye, and see you soon.
So